Good evening, everyone. I'm Evelyn Bell. I'm Sisterhood President of Temple Beth Tikva, and I'm bringing you a special part of Diaspora Diaries, which is a program developed by our program chair, Wendy Black. And we are featuring diasporas from all over the world. This one is focusing on China. Our special guest, who is going to be talking about China's diaspora and its history, is a member of our temple at Temple Beth Tikva. His name is Owen Zhao, but he has changed his name, and his wife as well, to Avram and Esther. Welcome, Owen, and thank you for joining us, everyone.
Okay, everybody, welcome to this very interesting program. I'm so honored with my wife to maybe share some very interesting things, because if we look at the title, Chinese and the Jew, it's very, it's evoke a lot of things, man, heart, because Chinese for most foreigner, like say, it's a Far East Oriental, it's a different culture. Also for Jew, to Chinese, it's a far-edged, it's everybody knows Jews, but truly nobody knows Jews. And what's the relationship is between these two very, I don't know, kind of like the two polos of the world, how they connect to each other. And that's going to be very interesting. So I'm very honored to be here to join this program. Thank you, everyone, for inviting us. So, okay. So I think we're going to have two parts of this program, like what we say, I think we because the program is talking about diaspora, Jews in China, the history a little bit. One part of gonna be that. Another part of gonna be my personal or my family past, how we from a Chinese to become a Jew or Chinese Jew, whatever. It's we're gonna leave some interesting, time for question and answers. Also, my wife prepared our Chinese cuisine, gonna show in the end. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, Chinese Jew and Chinese Jew. Okay, let's basically for me it's also new things for me. Everything is really fresh, although Chinese existing in the world for so many years. We say have 5,000 years old history, but we in China, we think of China is the center of the world, and so what's Chinese and the Jews, what's the relationship? Very interesting. China until recently, 100 years, maybe 200 years, China is a very isolated country. It's a sustain themselves, closing, it's an agricultural country with the emperor on top of the emperor. It's lasted for 2,000 years at least, and it's really not open to outside, but still there's some penetration of foreign cultures. Especially we find out interesting how Jews relate to Chinese, and we found out back maybe 1,000 years ago, even further, but we need the more historical, evidence to testify it. But basically, we all know there's a Chinese group, Jewish group called the Kaifeng Jews. That we can go to another slide. The first I think. Basically, if we're talking, diasporas of Jews to China, we can divide into four, major migrations. I think the first is oldest, is the traditional we call Kaifeng Jews. If we're talking about the Chinese Jews, all the historians, all the scholars may know Kaifeng Jews. Because Kaifeng is the capital of Central China. I think since Tang and the Song Dynasty, that's around, I think, 800 to 1,000 years ago. It's in the center of China, near the Yellow River. We have two rivers in China called the Mother River, nurtures China land, and the Jews already migrated from I think we know the Silk Road through India from Baghdad to China during the Middle Ages. Okay, so they formed there. Okay, I think the emperor also welcomed them to give them a location, and they perform all the Jewish traditions, keep Shabbat, Kashrut, all the holidays, and they have their own synagogue, have a Hebrew Torahs. It's a very interesting story. But the most interesting story is, if we look at all the diasporas, we found out, Chinese, Jews almost disappeared. It's like a water, it's like a river from a source, then flowing until it's disappeared into the sand. And China is kind of like a Jews diaspora is kind of like that. Yeah, that's very interesting stories, because during the time of Chinese Jews, there's a lot of reservation with local Chinese, especially with the Muslim, with we call Han. They have some intermarriage. Also, maybe the authority don't allow them to perform certain Jewish so that's the same. And until now, if we go to Kaifeng, almost we cannot find anything. They locked themselves, especially after we call 1949, when New China, we call Communist China, it's a takeover to China. They almost want Jews disappear, even if they don't understand Jews, because they have Christian, they have Muslim, because they have so many populations. But Jews have very, very limited number of people survived. And also we can identify as Jews because almost disappeared. And they try to let authority, China government recognize us one nation, but it's failed because they don't allow them to be recognized as one nation, because at that time only maybe hundreds, thousands of Jews, they want to be identified as Jews. That's interesting. That's during the 50s, it's and if you go to China now, almost, you can only find some relics. And there are certain Jews, they already try to revive, or there's some rabbis try to help, and they try to bring them back. But the progress still is going on. And that's the most important, the most interesting things about the Kaifeng Jews and the phenomenon of all the diasporas, why China is so special. And of course, it's the furthest to Israel, to the Mesopotamia area, to the eastern, Middle East. Okay. And the second migration, maybe we can go to another slide. This is Jewish beginning in China. That's, we can see that's Jews in China. It's a very traditional, dressed in Chinese traditional way. It's a very interesting. So another slide. And this they take us the synagogue in Kaifeng, and basically it's really like a Chinese Buddha temple. The style of the building, the construction. Of course, there's a certain Jewish laws. They keep there. That's very interesting. Another one. So they are practiced every Jews, traditionally, read the Torah, observe Jewish holidays, and the children learn Hebrew, and they keep the Jewish customs and rituals, keeping Jewish cultural laws, using ritual buses, establishing cemeteries and charitable institutions, performing circumcision of their sons. So they keep very well. Okay, and now we are talking about the second migration. It's very interesting. That's okay because it's kind of by commercial, by some Jewish people, they go through the Silk Road to go to China. And the second is kind of forced by foreign forces, like England. Okay, that time is a very there's the Western, they want to go to colony, go to conquer the India, they want to open China. I think that's happened during the 19th century, mid of 19th century. We call Opium War. Okay, and with that, Western opened China, and China they have a wars between each other. Then later they call the 8 countries of foreign countries including England, France, German, American, Japan, Germany, etc., etc. They burned the Emperor Garden, and they conquered the Emperor of Qing Dynasty, and they give us some land in Shanghai for them to do the business. Okay, to do the opium, to do the business. So then they can buy the Chinese tea or silk back to Western countries. Okay, so within this flow of the opening, there's one family called the Sashun, and Kaduri. They are entered Shanghai. It's a very interesting story. This what we show the book called The Last Kings of Shanghai. It's a book recommended by our dear friends, Elaine, he recommended this book to me. She's recommend this very interesting book. From this book, we saw, there's such great connection between Jews and the modern China, because before that, China is really, it's a very close country, and they only have some agriculture, how to manage the people, keep very, very rural life, very fundamental, basic agriculture based on everything on that, and based everything on the underground, on the earth, on the agriculture basis. After that, they starting to modern China. So next slide. So the first from Baghdad to Bund. Bund is it's a very famous place in Shanghai. We call it Bund. It's near the Changjiang River. It's entrance to the sea. So Changjiang.
Huangpu River.
Huangpu River. And this is it's a Sachsen family. They have been they built such emperor in Shanghai and also in Hong Kong. And next slide. From that book, you have a lot of interest story. If friends want to understand more, you can buy that book, and you can learn a lot of things. Very interesting. That's the first session. Then Kaduri, their competition families, and next slide. Maybe we need to go to show some very interesting pictures. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Sorry, I think, okay. Next. Oh, no.
This is the Kaifeng Jews.
No, I see, I want to show the hotel, the session, Shanghai.
That's further up. Keep on going through the slides. You'll get to it. There you go.
That's If we go to Shanghai, there's a very famous, is a kind of symbolic building of Bund of Shanghai. Even now, It's called the Castle Hotel before. Now it's called Peace Hotel, and you can find it in the very westernized the Shanghai. Even in modern Shanghai, it's very famous because this hotel is built by Victor Sassoon. And a lot of story happens in this hotel. Next slide, please. Yeah, you can see the green roof. That's the Peace Hotel. I think that's built almost 100 years ago already. 80 years ago. Okay, next slide. So now, okay, this is the modern Shanghai. So we from this we can understand, because if we in China during the 70s, if we think about the industry, okay, we think of Shanghai, and if we think of business, we think of Shanghai, because Shanghai have the origin of the Chinese modern industrialized, or the people, the technology, and the things. And now we found, okay, it's a very profound connection with the modern Jews. Although the Jews, okay, Sassoon, Kaduri, Hatong, they have an interesting, interconnection or competition between each other, how to build the empires, how to conquer, how to, interesting, interactive in that time during World War. Also, there's one interesting story. We can go to the former slide. We're talking about one very famous Chinese diplomat called Ho Hong-san. Yeah, before, okay. Yeah. No, before. Yeah. I think this is okay. This okay. Of course, that okay. The second migration is by Opium War and the Sassoon, Kaduri, and it's last until the establishment of Communist China. And during the World War II, because that time it's not Communist China, it's the government, it's called the Kuomintang, okay, and they are defeated by Chairman Mao and the communists. But that time, okay, China government is not the communist, it's a Kuomintang, and there's one very famous, I think it's a Jews should be feel gratitude and thanks for him. We have a lot of Jews saved from the Holocaust. He's working in, okay, next slide. Yeah, he's the Chinese Consul General in Vienna in 1939. He witnessed what was happening to the Jews of Austria, acting against orders. He issued the visas to hundreds of Jews, enabling them to go to Shanghai, China. Yeah, who went one step further and even issued visa to Jews who request to immigrate to countries other than China. He used his position of power to help many escape persecutions and later deportation and imprisonment in concentration camps. After the war, Ho continued his diplomatic career. Okay, died in 96 age. Okay, so he saved a lot of Jews, and how they saved? It's related to Sassoon and the Kaduri family in Shanghai, because that time they have a lot of money, they have a lot of power to influence, the government, influence the authority. So they opened their arm to welcome the Jews, and they try to manipulate with the captain of Japanese, because Japanese is alliance with Hitler, and they take off Shanghai, and it's a very interesting story. The Kaduri and the Sassoon family, okay, how to use a Hoping Hotel to host the Japan captain, make him happy, to protect the Jews. And finally they protected the 18,000 Jews in Shanghai, not persecuted. Even, okay, Japanese is take China at that time. That's really some miracle. And that's very, yeah, if we talk China and the Jews relation, that's a very good story to talk about. Yeah, that's basically China, okay, migration. Also, there's another migration is, okay, so Russian Revolution time, there's a lot of Russian Jews flow from, okay, North China called Harbin. They go there into China to try to, yeah, avoid the persecution of Russian, revolutions, So that's basically what's Jews, okay, in the past. And now, in China, Judaism is not recognized as official, recognized it's a religion. It's illegal, basically. We recognize, okay, Catholic, Christian, Muslim, Buddhism, and the Taoism, but the Jews in China is illegal. So how the Jews now do, okay, to follow their tradition, to keep Shabbat, etc. Okay. Now I think the most active is Chabad. They open some, okay, branch in Beijing, Shanghai, I think Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and in Hong Kong. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, we can go to another slide. I have joined the several further, go to further, go to, yeah, further. Yeah, okay. One slide, no. Up.
And that
Yeah,
one.
this. Yeah. Okay. One time I've been in okay, visit Chabad Beijing, got the Bet Yaakov house. Okay, I think it's 2018 during the Rosh Hashanah. Me and my wife, my son, from Israel back to China. We want to go to a Jewish community to participate in the Rosh Hashanah dinner. And very interesting, when I entered the building, and when the rabbi saw me, I look like Chinese, and my wife, my son said, okay, we cannot allow local Chinese in, because you see he pointed to the gate, there's a camera, the police camera is there. Okay, if they find out we accept local Chinese, they're gonna shut up our building. Okay, so it's this. Okay, so this is so basically, in China, yeah, you practice Judaism, you must be in hidden. You cannot. Okay, of course, they open some for the foreign Jews, because there's a lot of businessmen. Okay, bring their wife. They want to keep tradition Jewish life. So they kind of half close their eyes. Okay, but on the other hand, they don't want the Chinese to touch Judaism. Don't want them to convert to Jews in China. That's a very interesting story. Yeah, hope it's gonna be changed. But I don't think with the Communist Party in power, I think that's exactly what gonna lead into my journey. Yeah, how I want to become a Jew. Okay, that's basically what happens up to now, and what Chinese Jews almost disappeared. Okay, because you cannot officially practice Judaism. Also, there's no rabbi in Kaifeng, only some relics, but basically the active part is, okay, foreign Jews. They are experts in China, in Shanghai, in Hong Kong. They create them communities. Okay, sometimes bring some Chinese relative friends into their events. Yeah, something. We participate some Limon China for several times. We saw these interesting things. Okay, that's basically China Jews then and now. Okay, so now we go to another part. It's my personal family. How as a Chinese end of to be like to be yeah, join the tribe. That's yeah, it's interesting, but also very kind of heavy story for me. But basically, it's my journey adventure. Okay, so next slide. Yeah, I'm born in 1964. I think if friends know understand the Chinese culture, okay, China is took by Communist Party by 1949. Then okay, there's a lot of things happens. Okay, until 1966, there's a very big event called the China Cultural Revolution. Happens. Before that, already a lot of things happens. People died, millions, billions, not billions, but tens of millions people died during we call the 3 years big leap. They want one. Okay, the Chairman Mao is a play like a god. Okay. So okay, we know Judaism is basically you find the Judaism because you link it's a very I don't know how to call it, God, Hashem, and China, I think if we retrospect, look back why China is China, why China history is like that, why everything happened that. As a Jew, to look at China, I think because China is totally have no God. Buddhism, Taoism, there's no God concept. Okay, it's a religion. It's not a religion even. Okay, it's a faith. Just because people suffering so much, they want to find ways to escape from the suffering or mitigate the suffering. That's a faith. That's the Eastern teachings basically is talking about or try to achieve, just killing the suffering. Okay, but what we are talking about, Judaism, the Hashem, the God, even we cannot call the name. Yeah, we call Hashem. That's something very fundamental. That's why China is lacking, is missing. Okay, that's my discovering during my I'm now almost 60 years old. Okay, my 59 year living this was what experienced. It's made me to my journey to Hashem. Okay, so my time it's really, I think for me it's the story is very bitter. Even for my age, we have the best opportunities. Yeah, if people is looking at the age of China, we as a group, we are lucky actually. We tasted the Cultural Revolution a little bit, but we are not suffer so much because we are too young at that time. And then China is after Chairman Mao died in 1976, and China almost in the dead end. Then another leader called Deng Xiaoping said, we must change the direction. And basically they don't say, we end of communism, we want to be capitalism, but basically that's what they're doing. They call reform and open to the world, to the world. And basically interesting story is that when Deng Xiaoping decided to open China to focus on economic development, and really they're helped by the Jews. During 49, the Kadoorie, the Sasha, all the Jews, they give up all the properties in Shanghai. They flee out because they didn't get anything. They just kind of confiscated by the China government. They don't get any penny of what they are building. The emperor is everything's left in China, and after that they still build the connection. Then help to China to build the nuclear power station in China, help them to build a lot of things. I think that's still a story we needed to look at, okay? But for me, that's okay. The story is bitter, okay? Next slide. And for me, if we're talking about Jews, when we're talking about the devil, we think about Hitler. But for me, I think in 20th century, there's three devils, and one is Hitler, and another is Stalin, and another is Mao. And I try to figure out why he's such a devil. When I'm young, I just don't like other Chinese. I don't think everybody worship him like a god. I think this guy is bring too much suffering to this. I don't know, but I feel I hate them. I don't like him. I don't like the communist the way. So I think Mao is killing almost 60 million or 80 million Chinese, and it's their own nation people, own fellows. Yeah. When we're talking Hitler, is okay. Hitler is killing Jews. They say Jews is their threat. Is another nation. But Mao is killing their own people, and it's really, yeah. When we listen to the story of Holocaust, we really feel so compassionate to the Holocaust survivors. What is the experience? But Chairman Mao's cruelty to all their people is another kind. It's okay. Okay, I'll give you an example. During 1966, when they started the revolution, overnight, the China, there's so many people, they suicided. They hang themselves. They jump from the building. And the most is husband betray their wife, sons killing their fathers. That's the cruelty of Mao. Yeah. So I from a young age, I think Mao and the Communist Party, of course, we are all brainwashed. Okay, Chairman Mao is like a sign to China. The shining to China, give everything, give all the growth of everything in China, even in the world. Okay, he's a god. He's like the sun. Yeah. So that's brainwashing all the Chinese, but I don't take it. Of course, slowly. Then, until Chairman Mao died in 1976, and we are lucky because we catch at the time, China want to turn another direction, go to economy reform and open to the world. Then we have the opportunity to go to university. Before that, they shut down the university, bring down everything, Buddhism, Taoism, all the tradition is kind of destroyed by Mao. You know what? Why they do that? Because they want to make himself a god. Exactly like a Hitler. Why he hating Jews? Because Jews holding a god is so mystic and so powerful, and he cannot conquer. And if they don't destroy that God, he cannot make him God. And Mao is doing the same. All the dictators want to make them God. That's all the people sufferings. So that's exactly why, when you're worshiping, when God, took us out of Egypt and gave us commandment, the 10 commandments, I'm the God. Yeah, I'm the Hashem, your God, bring you out of Egypt to be your God. You cannot make another God, any image of me, And now when people no matter know Hashem or not, if we make them God, then everything is suffers. You know, that's a story I find out. Okay, another slide. Yeah. So we talk a little bit about Cultural Revolution, and I think all the process is the process to make him out a God, or okay, we call it anti-God. Okay, yeah, he's not God, but we want to be God. Then okay, create all the suffering darkness, and also he created his own Bible. We call the Mao Zedong Exodus. You know, we can see, you can see another slide. Yeah, you see, this is during most time, billions of Chinese, everybody have this kind of, we call the, okay, Mao's Bible, okay, because Mao's Exodus, what he said, okay, yeah, to monitor that, we need to keep, okay, we have their how to say it, see the photo in our chest. We, it's like a crazy, and
Every morning you should say some Chimay Mao's.
yeah, it's when we do everything, we need, okay,
Before eating, before sleeping.
yeah, it's a very it's such a stupid but funny, but nobody can think about, okay, what happened, it's like how to say, how to paralyze, how to you don't understand anything. It's why it's such a stupid things happens. Okay, next slide. Okay, and they say that, okay, we think Mao died, so then these craziness will end, but no. Okay, after 30 years, the economic development, and I feel and see another second Mao is coming in China, and they are trying to repeat the same craziness. That's what happened in Xi Jinping. Okay, that's a later story, but that's a trend now is happening in China. Okay, next slide. Yeah, you see the Xi, and they gonna make him another Mao. That's be really bad to Chinese or to the whole world. Okay, next. Okay, I think in our life there's some moments really change all your life. For me, it's okay. For me, it's 1989. I think friends may know this picture because it's a tanker man. This picture is took by BBC, I think, after the Tiananmen Square, when the China army, destroyed, killing the students in Tiananmen. And one guy is so brave, he's just go to in front of the tank, try to preventing them to progress. Yeah, that's a very symbolic photo. But for me, the whole story is happened. It's like now, it's I never cannot live what experience in the 1989. During that time, I'm 25 years old. I'm still in my graduate school in my last year to get my master's degrees. But this event is really happens. It's my life's moment, change everything. It's my turning point. Okay, so I wrote to, okay, on June 3, 1989, Owen went to sleep in the student dormitory only because his wife insists that he does not spend another night in Tiananmen Square again. June 3 is okay. Basically, what happens is on 4th of June, basically is night of June 3 and the morning June 4. They started shooting in the midnight of June 4th. Yeah. And on the night before, I was in a Beijing railway station. I was stay there for a whole night to against one train of soldiers. You know, I'm a whole night there. The people and the students, you know, hold their hand to hand. They okay in front against a train of army. They are trying to enter Beijing. And I was so tired, you know, it's 10 square to my place is almost 20 kilometers. I ride bicycle back and forth, and they lasted about 1.5 months because this movement started on April 15th. So on that night, when I heard, I don't believe it's because in that time China army we saw the People's Army, you know, we said People's Army don't kill people, you know, but we never think they gonna killing people. They use tank, you know, machine guns. It's when I heard the crying in my dormitory in the early morning, that time, okay, my sky is falling. Yeah. So on the next early morning, I woke up in the panic to the heart-wrenching sounds of cries of my fellow students and realized the worst things happens. The army started shooting these protesters who wanted to make their country better. Really, we are so innocent and so just want to change the country for better, okay? To welcome the universal laws of democrats, you know, and they have human rights, basic human rights, have voting rights, have freedom of believing, freedom of speech, you know, have law of rule of laws, you know. We think, okay, this is very basic and really fundamental for a country, for a nation to develop into 21st century. Yeah, the government should accept it. And it's ended in the blood shedding and tank, machine gun. It's really my whole life, my whole sky is falling. At that time, that's my only hope. You know, I'm so patriotic. I like the China country to be really, to be open to the whole world, to be modern, to be strong and prosper. But this dream at that night is falling apart. Okay, next slide.
Next slide, Robin. Okay.
So tears shed from my eyes like a waterfall as I struck to believe what actually happened. I had to go there and to see it for myself. And me and my wife is crazy. We just, okay, we don't believe it. We want to go to see, you know, and we ride bicycle, went to, I think, 10 kilometers, approaching the starting point. Actually, that point is my university student hold there. They're the first, okay, getting shooted by the army. I don't believe it, but when we approaching we call the Chang'an Street, we saw the blood, you know, all of the street, on the street. It's really, we feel such a desperate, you know, and the helicopter in the sky, we just hear the sound now. Okay, he said, okay,
Nobody can stop.
nobody, okay, he said, okay, the command of the army, nobody can stop the army, okay, nobody can stop the army, okay, go away, you know. It's like insane, really, you know. It's so yeah, if you want to against, we're gonna shooting, you know. It's me and my wife in that morning we heard, you know, the army helicopter spot is hovering in the sky of Beijing, the capital, you know, they always call it the people's capital and the people's pursuit of the country to be strong, to be modern, and is suppressed by the people's army. That's very ironic. Yeah. Okay, next slide. So that time of I shed all my tears. I think for the next 7 years I don't have tears. One time I have such because a long time you don't shed tears, you have a lot of problems because there's a lot of poison in your ears. So that time I suffer a lot in my ears one time, you know. So that's, you can see a lot of a lot of pictures. And it's now is a hidden, you know, and the government hidden how many people died in this. They only say, okay, there's soldiers died. They never talking about the people died, the student died, you know. Now it's even hidden, but now we find out maybe 30,000 people, students, people died during that. Okay, there's a different source, but nobody can testify it. It's all hidden in the government. So my dream is gone, you know. So at that time, you know, during 1980s, then I got my master's degrees in that same months. You know, it's very interesting. You know, when I participate in this, I cannot, because that time we all belong to Chinese government. You know, they pay you to the university, then we allocate you to working somewhere. So I also cannot work or live in Beijing. And they took me to, they called re-education camp for 3 months, you know. And they check me, why you go to protest? Okay, you are the #1 in our minister. Why you go there? Do you have a connection with those guys, those organizations, etc.? It's really insane, you know. After the 3 months, they release you, and my own hope is go to US to further my studies. So I crazily study English. So I get my TOEFL and the GRE tested, and get a very high score. I think is in 1991. Then I applied to go to University of American. They accepted me, but then Chinese. Then I find out I cannot go out to China for 5 years. I'm on the blacklist of China government. Cannot go abroad. So my another dream is gone. You know. So until 1992, then suddenly, you know, seems nothing happens. Then American try to build China a water factory. Then one day one of friends called me, do you interested in working for foreign company? I say yes, of course I want to go to further study in American, but if I cannot go, I better run away from my unit, my company, not company. I work in a very big research institute called Iron Steel Research Institute. There's more than 3,000, the biggest institute in China. So I cannot tolerate working there. So I go to, then I join Formica to be a representative of Formica. Then my life changed. So I starting forgot everything. Let's make money. Let's do business. So that's my Then from a political, you know, I don't want to look at anything. I just that's it. Let's make money. Yeah, to bring my family good life. Yeah, that's what happens. Then I joined Formica, working for 5 years. Then another, his competitor in Sweden, you know, called Perstorff, the flooring called Pergo, laminate flooring manufacturer. They headhunted me to be their chief representative. Then several years ago, Formica bought the Perstorff. So very interesting. So then I opened my own business to make a kitchen cabinet. So try to forget everything, but you cannot just bury your sand, then everything's gone. Okay. We are jumping into the business world. Okay, then another kind of life is was such a competition. It's unregulated. China is like how to say, like 10 people try to fighting for survival, all one bread. It's like a war, like a war zone in economy, in the competition. So I'm an educated people. I learned from a foreign company, try to do business, okay, according to the law, to the rules, but the market's not like that. Okay. So I'm struggling. I make a lot of money in the beginning, and then, okay, during the competition, I try to avoid, then I try to find a partnership. But during this time, I find out why people so difficult to get along. Even my family, I have a family crisis with my wife, Teresa, here, although she basically saved me in the Tiananmen Square. We are middle school, classmates, and kind of like a dinosaur, we are not still broken, but we almost broken, but we try to find something, okay, what's behind it. Okay, I try to work with my best friends, best classmate, mid classmate, the best friends, but every corporation, 1 year to broke out, 1 year, 2 year broke out until 2003, 2004, I think 2005, right? Until suddenly realize you cannot run away from everything. You must, okay, through all the life experience, to find out what happens. My partnership, I worked with him almost 2 years. I give them everything. I give the share. I give them, okay, big salary to be general manager, give out free share, 10%, something. But one day he just told me, okay, Owen, we're gonna leave. Okay, I'm gonna leave you. I say, what? I just I gave him everything like this glass. He just drop it. My company, everything is gonna be dropped. If I don't take it, then everything is gone. So that moment caused me think, what I'm experiencing, all the sufferings, no matter it's national wise or my family wise or my personal wise, I think there's something behind it. Make it so. So you can try to find why, the source of why. That's the things trick me to find out why we are suffering, why Chinese suffering, or even Jews are suffering. How to end the suffering. What's behind the suffering? Also, okay, if we talk higher, what's the meaning of life? Why am I living here? Why everything's so difficult? You have such good intention, the ending is such a disaster, tragic way. So that's caused me to find out. Then, okay, for many years, I don't want to touch any philosophy, religion, then I go back to try to find out. So I go back to Eastern. I don't like Eastern. Basically, I have a, nature, repulsion to Eastern teachings, no matter it's Judaism, it's Buddhism or Taoism or Confucius, I don't like them, because I think all the results is because of them. If the results are wrong, they are wrong. In the origin, it's wrong. So I try to accept, then I become Christian. I think Christian also, don't go to the public Christian, the church is really is a government, is controlled by the government, is kind of a communist kind of Chinese charismatical, Christian. So I don't like it. So we go to have some foreign friends, the Taiwanese, they bring us to family church. They say, okay, we go to spirituality. It's not the religion, not faith, back to the origin. So we go, me and my wife, joined the Christian group in Beijing, and it's okay. We feel the love, the church friendship, but still they only talking about the New Testament. They never touch the Old Testament. Old Testament is all about how to indicate bring the Jesus come out. Okay, so that's okay. Also, there's a lot of things they cannot answer questions, but basically is a scientific, very logical man. I don't want the blend to believe anything, but I read the Bible. I really like the Genesis, we call Bereshit, the Shemot, those stories. I think there's a lot of profound meaning that, you cannot just say, okay, everything is a bring to Jesus, then you can, so I don't suffice that, then I'll continue. I think I need to go to the deep. If a Christian, have the Old Testament up to be the fundamental, I think everything should be encoded and hidden in the origin of this. Then try to open, then finally, find the Judaism, find the our Hashem. Yeah, I think it's a long journey, but we are very happy. Finally, we find out, the life have a meaning, and the world have a creator. He created everything, and they want us to build a relationship with him. So that's okay. That's basically, the story I can share. Of course, it's a very long story. I think maybe how long time now? Okay. It's almost one hour. Okay. Maybe now it's we'll end it here. If our friends have some question, we can answer. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, it's a long story. For me, it's very promotional, emotional. Yeah.
Owen, there was some slides I wanted to show while you were talking about some of the there was some of the ones after you said finding answers, and then the special building in Beijing, and then the slide of you with your friends at the synagogue where you were on camera and police cameras. One of you in front of a bust of I don't know who that is, but anyhow, I would like to go back to the slideshow and see if we can show some of those slides because I thought they were kind of neat.
Yeah. Okay, please.
Go further. Yeah, keep on going. There, that one. And then
that's very interesting. You can see, this building, you see this building? You see, it's like a Jewish, like a synagogue. Okay. You know what, this building? This building is my factory.
Oh my.
Tree of life, you see. It's, the Jewish, David, David Star, it's, I built, seven, like a menorah and a Hanukkah 9, it's, I encoded a lot of mystic information, but the interesting thing is, nobody knows. The government, if they know, they're gonna shut down my building. Of course, it's in my factory in Beijing. It's very interesting. I put a lot of effort to try to find. I hope this building gonna be survive. Because this year they just try to bring down my factory. They just want to destroy it. you know, I don't know. It's a very interesting phenomenon also, you know. So yeah, this okay. Another one, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Me, my wife, and my son, and I took a photo of this rabbi in the Beijing Bet Yaakov Chabad house, Rosh Hashanah 2019. And then we with another friend we take a photo in the front of that. Yeah, and that's a Chabad house in China, in Beijing. You know, that's kind of a Jewish activity now in China. You know, yeah, because practice Judaism for local Chinese is illegal. So only they make it's not a synagogue. They cannot take a synagogue or temple, the name. You know, they just make it's kind of like a restaurant in the front of the public. Okay, yeah. Another one.
I have a question.
Okay.
By Chinese local, do you mean like anyone who looks Chinese, even if they're a citizen of another country?
No, okay, of course, if the local Chinese, they may adopt you are Chinese citizen, okay, then you are not allowed. Or they warn the rabbi, okay, don't try to approach local Chinese, try to bring them to Judaism, okay. But of course, there's a lot of Jews, they have their spouse is Chinese, then they have a they cannot okay forbidden, or they hold the okay foreign passport, you know, basically, you know. So but basically in China you cannot practice Judaism, but basically nobody knows Judaism. Okay, we know Bible, okay, Chinese people know Bible, no, there's Jews, no, okay, no Einstein, you know, even no Marcus, he's a Jews, you know, no Jews is a very clever, okay, make a lot of business, you know, big businessman, you know. They only know in that level. They don't know what's deeper level, what Jew means, you know, what Judaism means, what's Torah. They don't know Torah, they just know Bible, okay. In China, we call it the Bible, okay, yeah. So.
Understood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Basically, our journey, of course, not only we find out, yeah, our temple in Fullerton, yeah, we are trying to convert in Israel for years. It's very interesting, yeah, because of visa limitation, we cannot finish. Okay, we go to the Jerusalem, you know, the Beijing. They reject us 2 times, and the 3 times they don't answer. My visa is out, so we come to American, then we get converted here. So it's a very interesting, you know, journey. That's okay. Picture with my rabbi in my community in Petah Tikva, yeah. And this is a picture. I studied the course in American Jewish University with Rabbi Adam, and our Beijing is okay. This our Beijing process is okay. Rabbi Nico, Rabbi Adam, Rabbi Einstein, and our Richard Bass. Actually, we are not doing the in the Mikwa, we doing in the sea, you know, because of COVID, in the Newport Beach. Yeah, it's a very interesting, yeah, experience, you know. But we are happy we joined this tribe, because basically what we feel the difference, okay, China, okay, it's like why people suffer. For me, it's okay. Torah is really a light. If there's no light, people in the darkness. Then what experience only because there's so many obstacles in the way, in the past of life. Then people trembling, you know, each other. You know, if you don't hold Torah, you don't have God. Then, you know, like Martin Buber said, okay, there's only 2 kind of relationship. One is called I-zo, another called I-it. So if we have God, we are all equal, then okay, we are fellowship, we are humans. But if we don't have God, then only I eat. All the people in the front as of communist country party, you're just means to achieve their goal. You know, they can sacrifice whatever your life, yeah, to fulfill their demand of their purpose. So that's the Torah for us. That's God for us. If there's no God, there's only relative moralism. Okay, everybody think my God is a true God. Your God is not true God. My moral is a true moral. You're not. I'm right. You are wrong. So there's no standard. And the Torah, the Hashem gave the standard for what's wrong, what's good and the evil. Then we can choose good. If you don't have standard to judge, to measure what's good and evil, what's light and the darkness, you have no way to choose. So that's, I think, you know, Torah means to us, and the join the tribe means, okay, all the human are brothers and sisters, and we should, okay, hand in hand connect to each other, love and give each other. Then the suffering, the darkness is gonna go. That's the lesson we take, and that's Judaism and the Torah means to us. And it's really that Hashem wanted to do, to love and connect to each other. And I hope this can bring to China, you know, because China is looks, we say it's a very stable country, but actually it's not a united country at all. Every single family is like a saint, have no connection to another saint. You know, in China we say, okay, 个人至少门前雪，修广他人瓦上 say, okay, we just take care of my boundary, my own family. Don't they look at the others, don't they interact with others, you know, just keep our own boundaries, you know. That's what's happened in China, you know, and maybe in all the world, you know. But here in Tampines, Tikwa, in the Jewish community, we feel the connection, yeah, connected by the Torah or the service, you know. I think the family, the boundary expanded to a community, yeah, and with the community, we bound us is loved and given, you know. And my wife also is a very happy here. He studied, he learned, you know, learn English from Barbara Levin. She is teaching her every week. She's so moved, you know. In this community, we feel so much love, you know. I think that's yeah, the Bara, Elaine, all the community members. So I think they really care about the Chinese couple, and we are very happy to join this tribe and to be together with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Owen. Thank you so much for about your life and your journey. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. This concludes our program, but I want Wendy to make an announcement of any future programs we have in store, please.
Yeah, thanks, Evelyn. First of all, if you haven't registered for the convention, if you belong to the Pacific District, please do so. I put the link in chat. It is March 23rd to 26th in Bellevue, Washington. You can either Zoom in or go. Please join us Thursday, May 25th for hopefully our very first Shavuot across the PD. That'll be on Thursday, May 25th. And then in the first, I believe it's the 7th of June, which is the first Wednesday in June, please bring your best sisterhood programs, because we're going to have a sharing session, and then we can upload the best programs over to the Sisterhood Program Exchange. And then we look forward in the fall for Evelyn to be doing another Diaspora Diaries on Ethiopian Jews. But we thank you all for coming tonight, and we certainly thank our speaker. This has been just fascinating evening.
Thank you. Also, to reminder, there is a recipe that Esther had given us, it should be on the program. I forget where it is, either on Yammer or it will be somehow broadcast.
Yeah, no, it's been posted twice. Yeah, I posted it twice.
Okay.
So go back in the chat. You go to wrjpacific.org, go over to programs. You go down there and it will have Diaspora.
I don't want to leave
Diaspora
the
Diaries
Zoom and then
recipes.
it shows that I left, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll say Judy.
Well, do you want to do this in the morning?
No, I'm just putting it someplace.
Okay, somebody please turn off
That was, yeah.
your mics
All
there.
right, let's get back to this. I'm gonna need a recipe, so I have.
Okay, so the rest, and just in case, I will make sure that I can share that recipe with our congregants, and I will also make sure that of Temple Bet Tikva, it's a delicious recipe, by the way. It's traditional. It's called tiger eggs. It's a eggs are very important to Chinese culture. They symbolize new beginnings, success, and especially during the new year. So I hope you get a chance to try that recipe. There is a video. It is in Chinese, but it's very easy to follow. You don't need to understand Chinese to see what is going on in the frying pan with all the ingredients. And I want to thank Esther for allowing us to share that recipe. And thanks again for joining us, everyone. It was delightful to be a part of this. I'm going to sign off, and good night.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
recipe
Thank you,
and
Abraham.
enjoy the Chinese
Good
cuisine.
night. Thank you for the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.